Already getting hit with the L host. Here we go. That's fire.
Oh, the haters.
L host. Come on, chat. This is player's choice, bro. We're not supposed to start on time. What are we talking
This is
about?
player's choice, bro. We're not supposed to start on time. What are
Oh,
you? This is player's choice, bro. We're not supposed.
Hold on. I just muted you, Elder. I'm gonna wait for you to adjust your audio. I thought that was me over here going crazy. What's good, chat? Welcome to Ask Elder. Presented by Players Choice. Elder, how we doing, bro?
Incredible. How we doing, JD?
Man, I'm super excited. We almost just spent what we should have been doing on the show off the show. We were about to just chat for like an hour. That was an amazing conversation we were having. Like I said, welcome to Ask Elder, presented by Players Choice PC Madness. Let me explain what this show will entail. Every Monday at 9:30 a.m. PST, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, on Ask Elder, you have the chance, the opportunity to just really ask Elder any kind of basketball-related questions that you have. I mean, you could ask anything, but NBA, college, just basketball in general, whatever questions you have, sending super chats, and just chatting in the chat. I'm obviously going to prioritize super chats like we always do. If you're a member of the YouTube channel, I'm going to prioritize those as well. And then at some point, I will drop a link, and you can come up here and you can ask your questions live. All that I ask of you is that you have a camera on, at least initially. You don't have to show your face. Just let me see that you are. There's no mischief going on. Am I missing anything? You'll come. Yeah, please be respectful. Elder already told me before the show he's gonna let you talk, then he's gonna talk. If you interrupt him, he's gonna tell me to boot you. So no disrespect on the Ask Elder show. So without further ado, chat, you guys start asking questions. We'll start answering them. Someone actually asked a question before the show started, like an hour before the show started. Brian Townsend, he said, where would you rank Eddie Johnson and Detlef Schrempf in today's game?
I probably wouldn't rank them because they're not on that level of player to me to be ranked. Eddie Johnson to me was a specialist. He was a shooter. He was a scorer. He didn't play much D and stuff like that. So I think he would definitely have a place in the game today because shooting is a premium in basketball right now. And definitely scoring is. Detlef Schrempf to me was more of an all-around dude. You know what I mean? He's like a utility knife kind of guy to me. He did a little bit of everything. And I like guys like Detlef Schrempf. They definitely would have a place in the game today too. But ranking, I mean, top 100 players, I guess. If you got to give some kind of ranking, it would be top 100 players in the game today, like they were back then. You know, they were top 100 players back then. So
I'm disappointed in myself because Detlef Schrempf was obviously a Seattle Sonic. And I mean, I don't know that I can blame myself for this. I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I went to maybe one Seattle Sonics game when I was that young. But, you know, I didn't get to watch that era of Seattle Sonics, the best era for the Seattle Sonics, in my opinion. I mean, outside of when they won in, 76 or 78 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Late 70s. Mm-hmm.
But
he was good. He was a good all-around player. And I like guys like that. Probably because I was kind of similar to that. When I played, guys compared me to Joe Dumars. That's what a lot of people thought my game was kind of patterned after, and I looked like him. You know what I mean? Like the way I played, you know, big body guard that can, you know, use my muscle, but I can shoot the ball, I can handle the ball, I can pass the ball. You know what I mean? I was a good rebounder, great on defense, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I like the all-around players. I do. I like the guys that can do everything. Some people in the chat probably disagree with that because they're like, well, why you hate on LeBron so much? No, I don't hate on LeBron. I get people on this side telling me I hate LeBron when they hear certain things I say. Then I get people on this side saying I'm a LeBron lover when they hear me say certain things. I just call it like I see it.
Yeah.
Right down the line. That's how I call it. So
yeah, you're never on one side or the other with the chat.
Yeah.
So they could never figure it out either.
Let me tell the people like why this kind of came to where it did with the show, and it's called Ask Elder. the reason I came up with that name and this format is because most of y'all that know me know that I go about and I help a lot of different channels. I go on their panels, I support, I do all this kind of stuff, and I'm always on there with them. But the number one thing I noticed that every single time when I get up on the panel, the first thing that happens is, Elder, let me ask you a question. 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 So I'm like, let's just have a show where you can do that. Now you can do it through the super chat. You can do it if you're a member and send it up. You can ask it right there in the chat. In the chat, if we get to it. But I also want you to have an opportunity to come up here live and talk to me, because I know some of y'all want the smoke. It's fine, I don't duck no smoke, but it's going to be done decent. It's going to be done in order. I'm too old to be yelling and screaming over all you guys and half hearing what you're saying and all that. So if you come up, it'll be respectful. I'll let you ask your question and I'll let you go on your rant, whatever it is that you may have. I'll give you that time. Won't say a word. But when you're done, you're going to give me time to rebuttal, talk about it, answer your question, whatever the case may be. So it's going to be done in that manner. Now, if you don't want to do it that way, we'll get you out of here and then we'll see you over on Ticket versus the World or another spot we got here on Player's Choice. But that's where the inspiration came from for this.
Fire. Love it. Zane the Clutch asked, Elder, do you really believe Chris Bosh was top 10 in 2010? If so, I'll be up there later, my brother.
Well, I'll see you later then.
There you go.
I'll see you later. When they got together, Chris Bosh to me was the top 10 player in the game. Some people may have him. Again, that's a subjective thing. Some people may have him top 15. You may have him top 20. The key is he was in his prime and he was one of the best players in the game. I mean, if you have an all-star team, East, West, right? How many players is that? 12 per side, correct? So you're the top 24 players in the game, right? Chris Bosh was definitely that. So you may disagree that he wasn't top 10 or whatever, but you won't disagree that he was an all-star and he was one of the best players in the game. He was one of the best big men in the game at that time. Don't forget, he was leading Toronto at that time. He was the man, rebounding, scoring. He was the lead guy, and they snapped him. So you got 3 lead dogs coming on one team, all of them in their prime. So, yeah. So I'll see you later. He said he'd come up later, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you later.
We have our inaugural super chat on Ask Elder by Rhino Gang 90.
Let's get it.
Who's your top 10 players right now?
Ooh, playing the game right now. Ooh, wee.
Here, I'll help you out, Elder. You can start with Luka Doncic and go from there.
Okay, I'll get Luka. Luka is definitely in my top 10, and this won't be in no particular order. Okay, I'm not ranking them in order, but we got Luka already. We got Steph Curry. We got LeBron James. We got Kevin Durant. We got Giannis Antetokounmpo. We got Joel Embiid. We have another big dude, Jokic. That's 7. That's all I got. 7 already.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember the 7 you've named, so I don't know.
Fine. I counted them.
To start thinking.
So, let me think who else is that I want to put in this top 10 right now. Jason Tatum is definitely in the top 10. Jason Tatum is a top 10 player. I'm missing some people.
I didn't hear you say. I don't think I heard you say, and maybe he's not in your top 10, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Is Ja Morant in your top 10?
No. He's not.
He's
in my top 15.
Right.
He's in my top 15. He's not in my top 10. Of course, AD, when he's healthy, definitely he's a top 10 player in my opinion. It's somebody like I'm really missing. Zion's top 15, y'all, just because he hasn't played enough. Spider's top 15. I see y'all giving me help in there. It's somebody I'm missing. And somebody, you know what? No. I'm a Kawhi Leonard. I know he's been hurt and all that, but when he's healthy, he's a top 10 player. Easily. When he's healthy. So that's my top 10.
I feel like chat's going to be upset about this Kawhi top 10 take because of the injuries. We'll see.
But if I put AD, I got to put Kawhi. You know what I mean? Put a guy that's perennially hurt like AD, I got to put Kawhi in there too.
Right.
So there are a lot of guys that are right there, like the Mitchells, the Jaws, all them. There's a lot of guys that are right there. You know, that's why I said top 15 with those. I didn't forget Giannis. I said Giannis. I should
see.
Giannis is the best player. Now, if you want me to rank him, Giannis is number 1 to me. I think he's the best player in the game right now.
Right, I agree. 1 after Luka, right? So he's 2.
All right,
he's 2.
I got you.
Uber Eats asks, does competition at your position matter when we talk about context about the competition in your era?
No, it doesn't to me, because it's like, I'm going to use y'all excuse. It's a team sport. So, no, to me, it doesn't. And I know and I know where that question is going. Some want to look at Jordan's competition and say that he wasn't the best. But when I go back and look, the most Hall of Famers came out of the 90s. Everybody go check. You got more Hall of Famers came out of that era of the 90s than any year. So he played in the era with a bunch of Hall of Famers. He just subdued them. That's all. That's why most of them hate him now. That's why they hate Jordan. They couldn't beat him, bro. They couldn't beat him. So, no. The answer to the question to me, no, it doesn't. Now, it may to you. Because, again, when you look at this GOAT conversations, top 10s, all these things, they're all subjective, y'all. They're just opinions. Now, I understand you believe it deep down in your heart. So that makes it feel like it's a fact to you. But it's not. It's just how you feel. Because you will have one player that's great, and something that he does, you may rank it a little higher than something that another great player does. One guy may have regular season MVPs. You may think that's the greatest thing in the world. But somebody else over here may have more championships, and they may think that's the greatest thing in the world. It's subjective. It's good conversation, but it ain't nothing to get all bent out of shape about. It ain't nothing for you to, it's facts, it's facts. No, like, bro, you need to define what facts really are. It's your opinion, man. And that's what this is all about. It's just opinion. It's opinion. So
my opinion's usually fact, though.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Bookie Allen, Elder, do you have Duncan ranked over LeBron?
Yes, I do. I have Duncan ranked over LeBron all time because Duncan has more championships than LeBron. I like what Duncan did. He is the greatest at his position, right? And the way I do, but you got to get an understanding how I do my top five. I do it by position. And I know all the LeBron lovers are going to hate me for this, but I do it by position. So the point guard on that team is Magic Johnson because he's the greatest point guard of all time. To me, now let me tell y'all, to me, this is my opinion and what I've seen with these eyes and what I know about basketball. The two best players I have ever seen play the game with my eyes is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. So they're 1-2 on my list. Now, a lot of y'all may disagree with that. That's my list, though. So they have to be on my top five. And to me, they were interchangeable between 2 and 3. They could both play 2. They could both play 3. So I have Magic, I have Jordan, Kobe, I have Tim Duncan at the 4, and I have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at the 5. LeBron James, for those that care, is number 6 on my list. I respect him enough to put him number 6. But everybody I have above him, they've been greater winners than LeBron James has been winners when it comes to championships. So if you want a justification of some sorts, that's why they're there. Can LeBron get into the top 5? Absolutely. I made a statement probably about a year ago when they first got Russell Westbrook. I said if LeBron James can pull this thing off and win with Westbrook, I will anoint him the GOAT. And people are trying to hold me to it. Now, last year they didn't because they sucked. This year, a lot of folk been hitting me up. Oh, remember what you said? Oh, I didn't forget. I did not forget. Now, if I'm being real, though, I probably now will give a little more credit to Darvin Ham than I will LeBron for this. Because what Darvin Ham did by convincing Westbrook to cooperate is what I thought LeBron could do. He didn't do it. Darvin came in and did it, but I'm a man of my word. So if the Lakers go down and win the championship this year and they don't trade Russ and he's on that team, y'all will hear me on here on Ask Elder saying LeBron James is the GOAT. And the reason he gets elevated is because I made a statement probably 25 years ago. 30 years, it's a long time ago, y'all. When I was playing ball, I made the statement, right? That players like Russell Westbrook, these score first, selfish point guards, I don't believe you can win chips with them. I don't believe you can win championships with them. And I haven't had a guy in the league that proved me different. Some try to say that Steph Curry's that dude. He's not, though, because Steph Curry is really just an undersized 2 guard. When I watch Steph Curry movements, and I go watch Dale Curry, when I go watch Reggie Miller, when I go watch Rip Hamilton, all the 2 guards, he moves like them. He does what they do. So to me, he's just an undersized 2 guard. Y'all can call him a point guard. People call Allen Iverson a point guard. What the hell was Eric Snow then? If Iverson was a point guard, what was Eric Snow? What did E. Snow do? Okay, y'all got it.
Elder, I'm trying so hard not to put my player's choice hat on and start arguing about why you don't have LeBron as number 1 or 2. But no, this is your show. We're not debating. I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to debate you.
You get the smoke too.
The African sci-fi scholar with the second super chat of Ask Elder. Big salute to Elder, a stand-up man, a great basketball mind. He gets it wrong sometimes, though. LOL. Don't we all get it wrong sometimes?
None of us are perfect.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting it wrong sometimes. Jesse Sweet, how do you think LeBron's legacy will age?
I actually vote on. I know it's kind of a common thing going around now in the basketball community that these guys are gonna the way the young folk are kind of or this group of people. I'm gonna say young folk. This casual basketball fan, whatever you want to call them. Today's basketball fans, they disrespect the older generation that kind of got us to this point. A lot of people feel that way, right? So they feel like that thing is going to continue. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't agree that 10, 15 years from now, they're going to be looking at LeBron and saying the same things they're saying about Kobe or
playing
Jordan.
Against plumbers.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. And the reason why is because the offense is coming because a lot of loyalists watched the game. They were loyal to the NBA, loyal to a team. They really love the science of basketball, the angles, the inches, all that good stuff. These players today just want to dribble, shoot, do highlight dunks, put it on Instagram. You know what I mean? It's transitioned from being a game, right? More basketball to more of a business, more of an entertainment. And you have to appease the people that are paying for it. So I get it. I get it from the NBA standpoint. But I don't agree with that they're going to be looked down on kind of like some of the people are today, the older players today are, because I don't think these fans are loyal. I don't. I think when their favorite players kind of go to waste and all that, if they don't have another guy that comes in and captures them the same way, I don't think they're going to be watching basketball.
You're talking about you don't feel like these fans today are loyal in terms of loyal to a specific team?
Fact. And they're not loyal. I don't even think they're loyal to the NBA game. I mean, you'd be amazed at the conversations I have with people, and it starts off by them talking about what they saw on some video game. I'm just like, what? I'm serious.
Who are you talking to?
And I can know these casuals that call themselves basketball fans today.
2K
and
fans.
A lot of them, I can tell the influence is from that. Not saying that they get everything from that. But they actually, like when they see a rating, they believe that. If they see an 82 rating on a guy, they actually think that is what he is.
Right.
And it's sad that they will infuse that in their conversations. But because these people are not loyal, I don't think it's going to stand, because I don't think a lot of them is just going to be around. So you're going to have your new people coming in, and those that become historians and actually study and watch the game and all of that kind of stuff, they'll have an appreciation for all the greats. You know what I mean? Because I think people still appreciate Kareem, Magic, all them. The only time you actually really get the majority of these conversations, this is me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, before LeBron James came into the NBA, these conversations weren't happening. They weren't happening. But now that he's here and he has such a loyal fan base, they infuse things and come up with stats and come up with just everything. I've heard more different types of stats for LeBron James than I ever heard for any player in the world. You know, when the moon fell out the sky 6 years ago, LeBron James was the first one to dunk the basketball and take it out and get ice cream with his children. And it's just crazy, some of the new stats that are coming up to make him look better. And those are the people mainly that want to argue against Kobe, argue against Jordan, Kareem, anybody that would stack up against LeBron James. And part of it, in my personal opinion, is because LeBron has lost so much. This is still a team sport. So at the end of the day, the goal should be, I don't know if it is, but it should be to win. I'm stealing that from Herm, but it should be to win. So I respect winning more than anything, because that's what you play the game for. I know it's a job, but I play to win. You know what I mean? I play to win. So I respect that a little bit more than accolades and accomplishments and awards that didn't necessarily lead you to winning the championship. So no, I don't think it's gonna. I think LeBron is gonna be great going forward, because I think a lot of people that come into, you know, the younger ones now, that like the ones that are seeing LeBron now that are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old and they fall in love with basketball, when they get older and really understand what's going on, I don't necessarily think that they're gonna, you know, bash him and say he was this, he was that. I think they're going to tell the truth, though. I think they're going to tell the truth. Like, man, he laid a dud in this final. What did he do here? How did they hold him to under 20 points a game? And how did he get swept? They're going to keep it truthful, but they're going to also talk about all the great stuff that he did too. All the incredible accomplishments that he had. I think they'll do that.
An underrated stance. When we talk about the greatest scorers, why aren't Alex English and Adrian Dantley mentioned?
Because most of the casuals today don't even know who those guys are. They don't know who they are. You know who they are, though, right, JD?
I know Alex English. I do not know who Dantley is. That was the first time I've ever seen that name.
But he's 31 years old, though, y'all. So, boy was done playing before he was even starting to watch. Adrian Dantley was done playing before he was done. Before he's watching basketball. Really.
Also, a little insider information. I'm not a great NBA historian. Like, I actually talked about this an episode or two ago on Player's Choice because Dub was getting on my head about getting into the debates, and it was because it was a basketball debate about the game of how the game is played and how it's evolved, whatever, as opposed to like this player and these teams they've played on, these stats, these accolades they've achieved. I don't know all that stuff, but I can talk about the sport.
That's cool. But I think what happens a lot today too, because a lot of the new, what I call casuals or new basketball fans, whatever you want to call them, they will go do what's research because they love stats. A lot of them believe that stats are facts, and stats are facts. They just don't tell the whole story though.
Right.
And you got to understand that in context. You can't eliminate the eye test. That's very, very important in basketball because everything you see on numbers don't explain everything that was happening on that court. And what happens today is a lot of these guys will go back and do their research. They'll pull it up. But this is what happens. When they look and see a guy like Adrian Dantley coming to the league, Alex English coming to the league, and they see from the jump these guys coming out averaging 20, 20, 30, 30, they're like, whoa. And then they go compare and see what LeBron is doing. Now they don't want to talk about that guy. They don't want to deal with that guy because he's close to LeBron's level. Like, because they think in their mind, LeBron's the only guy that ever came into the league and averaged 27 points his second year. There are guys that come into this league averaging 30 off the rip. Winning MVPs as rookies, bro. I mean, y'all go back and do your research. It's been incredible players in this game, but because y'all didn't understand the game then and understand what these guys were doing and you haven't done your research, y'all don't want to give them credit. It is a lot of great players. Last night we was on the ticket thing last night, Ticket versus the World, and guy was mad. He came on wanted to smoke with Ticket because he said he got Kevin Durant ranked 27. There's an argument for it. Now, talent-wise, I think everybody knows Kevin Durant is one of the best talents to ever play the game. He's definitely top 5, top 10 talent. That doesn't mean his career was better than other guys. And there's a lot of guys that got same accolades, better career, more chips, did more. Because to me, it means, to us, to old school loyalists, it means something if a guy can take a team, go through the mud, have adversity, overcome it, and take that team to a chip, lead them there, like Dirk did. That means stuff to us. Now, it doesn't mean that Dirk is greater than Tim Duncan. You see what I'm saying? Because Tim Duncan did 5 times. Dirk only did it once.
Right.
Oh, yeah, better player. Doesn't matter. You got to do what you got to do. But it still gives credence to guys that get it out the mud and they lead, because leadership is part of a team sport. You got to galvanize people to come together to get the mission done. That speaks to your leadership. It doesn't matter if you're a butthole or a-hole, if you're a nice guy, if you're a misogynist. I don't care what you do to get it done. Honestly, if you get the job done, you're going to get credit for it. But see, because LeBron has lost so much, we don't want to put value on winning. We want to put value on stats, accolades, stuff like that. I told him last night, I don't know how we can have a man be the best player to ever play this game out of the 100 years of basketball we've had, but he has a losing record in the finals. I don't know how we can do that. I don't. When we have guys that have gotten to the finals and never lost, got all the other greats that are in the conversation, top 10, they all have winning records in the finals, maybe except Wilt. He may be the only one. I'm missing somebody else. I can't think of anybody else in the top 10, anybody's top 10 that has a losing record in the finals besides Wilt Chamberlain and LeBron James.
All right, here's the deal, chat. We just got a few super chats rolling in. I'm about to drop the link right now. I'm about to pin that so you guys can start rolling in. We'll bring you in after we hit these super chats. Again, stick to one question, one topic. It could be, a quick question where it's just answer and then out. If you wanted a discussion back and forth for 4 or 5 minutes, we can do that as well. I'm going to hit these really quick. Big Rich, Paul George is a top 10 player.
Yes. He's one. I would think, yes, I could get him in there somewhere. Yeah. Top 15 minimum today. Yeah.
Aaron Adams with the super chat. I think we downplay MJ between the accolades, stats, chips, and we expected him to win, and he actually did it. We downplay it to make others comparable or other comparisons. I don't know.
I know what he's saying. Yep. And I agree with that statement. I actually agree with that statement.
Jermaine F. West said, Shalom Elder, great to see you here. How do you see the Lakers season ending? If you are unfamiliar, Elder is a big Lakers fan, by the way, if you're new to Players Choice.
I've been a Laker fan since 79. Most of y'all weren't even born then. I was cheering for them before y'all were born. Yeah. That's a tough one, Brother Jermaine. That's a very tough one. I see the Lakers season ending by getting to the playoffs. I still don't have faith in the roster. I know they're playing well. They're doing this. The playoffs is a different breed than regular season. If AD's healthy and they make a couple minor roster tweaks to get some size in there in the wing, I think the Lakers can win the chip if they stay healthy. But if they don't do that, I think the ceiling for them would be Western Conference Finals.
Bro, John McNabb said, rather build a team around Ja or Tatum, and why?
I would rather build a team around Jason Tatum. Bless you, Brother McNabb. I would rather build a team around Tatum simply because, one, he's bigger. I like big dudes. I'd rather have 6'10" now, 6'9", 6'10"? They said he grew since he came to the league. So I'd rather have a 6'8" to 6'10" dude that can do everything like Tatum does. He's becoming a much better playmaker, and he's not a selfish player. To me, Ja Morant's a selfish player. I'm not a fan of guys like Ja Morant. I'm not a fan of guys like what's his name in Atlanta, Trae Young. Those guys like that, I don't want them. I really don't. I don't want them being the lead dog on my team. Now, Ja's a little different, because Ja has that spectacularism. That's a new word I'm making up. Spectacularism at the end of the games. Ja Morant is something else at the end of the games. He's a problem. I'm just going to keep it real. He's a problem at the end of the games. But the stuff he does in between, he don't play the defense. I'm definitely taking Tatum to start my team over Ja Morant.
Bet. T Streets, is Curry better than Zeke?
Oh, man. Ooh. Let me say it this way. I don't have Curry as a point guard. Everybody needs to understand that. So I don't compare him to Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson. He don't do what those guys do. He is a scorer. He's a two guard to me. He's just undersized. So is he a better two guard than Isaiah Thomas is a better point guard? I think they're comparable because I got both of them top 5 in their positions. I have Isaiah Thomas top 5, and Curry this year got up to top 5 as a two guard to me. Curry went over the top with me this year, y'all, when he was able to come back after Durant, after all that adversity they went through. They went 15 games that one year. Then he leads the team to a championship this year. That means a lot to me. So he's shown me he can do it before with the greater, and then he showed me he can do it after. And he's always, to me, been the main leader of that team. I know Draymond is the rah-rah guy, keep everybody together, but the real glue and the real leader of that team, the silent killer, is Curry. So I think they comparable at their positions is what I would say.
African sci-fi scholar said, well said, Elder, leadership mindset, reliancy, don't show up on stat sheets. Okay, Straightway Indiana Goshen, this is a good show. We'll be tuned in often. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Thank you guys for coming and supporting Ask Elder. If you have not paid the entry fee, make sure you pay that. That is a like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Zay in the clutch. Here he is. He said he was bringing the smoke.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
What's going on, Zay?
Nothing much. How about you, man?
I'm blessed, my brother. What you got for me?
So I'm just trying to figure out how Chris Bosh in 2010, before he went to Miami, was a top 10 player when you said he was leading Toronto, but he couldn't have led them to much because they didn't make the playoffs that year before. They didn't make the playoffs much before he left and went to Miami. I think they made it, twice with Chris Bosh, and both were first-round exits.
Okay.
They had under a 50 win percentage that last year with Chris Bosh.
Mm-hmm.
And you said the All-Star game made him this top player. Chris Kaman, I'm pretty sure, made the playoffs or the All-Star game that year too. Was he a top player in the league, top 20?
No, I said the All-Star game is a barometer. That's your top 24 players, right?
Was Chris Kaman the top 24 player?
Was Chris Kaman a perennial All-Star?
He made the All-Star game. He made it as much as Chris Bosh.
Hold on, my brother. A lot of guys can make it, but I'm talking about a perennial All-Star like Bosh was. He was there all the time. He was a 20-point scorer, all that. Guys can have a good season and get into the All-Star game one time. But I'm talking about a guy that's perennial, an All-Star. Like, you don't think about Chris Kaman as ever being a Hall of Famer. Chris Bosh has always been in that conversation. He's definitely a first ballot now. But even before then, when he was leading Toronto and they weren't that good and they were young, don't forget, they were young. He led them while they were young, bro. It was like his first 4 years in the league. He was young. Go back and look at Chris Bosh's stats. Hold on. Go back and look at his stats for Toronto the year before he left. And that's why he's a top 10 player. And again, it's my opinion. It's subjective. He was one of the best players in the game. You would agree he was definitely an all-star caliber player at that time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, an all-star caliber.
I'll rephrase it. Hey, Zay, I can rephrase it to make it feel better for you. All right? I'll say that 3 all-star caliber players in their prime came together. Does that make you feel a little better?
No, I agree. I agree with that. My problem is just where you say Chris Bosh was, because even by the stats, there are 10 players at that time that were still better than Chris Bosh. Probably more than 10, but easily 10.
I know a lot of guys like people to get the name in mind. I won't ask you to do that. Again, I believe it's subjective. If you got Chris Bosh 14, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. You can have him 20th. Doesn't matter to me. I thought at that time Chris Bosh was a top 10 player. He was one of the top big men in the game, 2 or 3 in the game at that time. So even if he wasn't top 10,
2 or 3 big men?
I thought he was at that time. Yeah, I did. Chris Bosh was a beast. He was on a young team that wasn't that good, but he couldn't be stopped, bro. I mean, think about it. You got a scouting report that the only person you got to worry about is Chris Bosh. The team still couldn't stop him. They still couldn't stop him.
Was he better than Dwight Howard?
At that time, no. Well, 10. No, definitely not. Because that's when Howard was going to. What's the name?
Was he better than
Howard? Probably one of the best.
Dirk?
No, not at that time.
Was he better than Amari Stoudemire?
I would take him over Amari Stoudemire. That's me, though. That's me. I would have taken him over. I see a little list. One guy, J-Mar, got a list. I would take him over Amari, Gasol, Aldridge, not Duncan, though, of course. But Duncan was he was, getting up there. But so I would definitely say he's top 5 then. Because I only got 3 guys that we got over him right now or on his level. I wouldn't put those other guys at that time over him. I wouldn't. Because I need to get Amari to play some D. Bosh play some defense. I need to get Amari to play a little bit of defense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hold on? Since you don't like the top 10, cool. That's subjective, right? It's opinionated. Where would you put Bosh then? Where would you put him as a player that year?
That year, I'd probably say he's right around that 15 to 20. He's probably either 14, 15, 16.
I can live with that because, again, that's why I go to the All-Star. Your All-Stars are 12 each side. That's your top 24 players in the game for that year.
Oh, yeah.
And he did that perennially. He did that all the time. It wasn't a one-time thing like Chris Kaman. He was constantly in that. So if he's a top 15 player, I'll say that. I'm good with that. They had 3 top 15 players in their prime.
Now going into the next year, I don't think he was top 15 at all. Because I think after that year, because 2010, Blake Griffin was out. I think when Blake Griffin got into the league in 2011, he was better than Chris Bosh.
Well, when you put that much talent together, somebody has to compromise. Somebody,
not even just by the stat, not even by just stats alone. Skill-wise, Blake Griffin was a better player than Chris Bosh. He was more efficient. He was more efficient. He was grabbing more back. He was grabbing more rebounds.
You're talking about him being in a situation, though, where now he's having to go from being the man to not drop it to the second, but the third best guy. That's a lot of adjustments. Right. That's probably why they lost that year, too. Part of it, not the only reason. I know the main reason why they lost, but that's part of it, too. But once they got that flow going and he got his niche, I'm the rebounder, I'm the defender, I'm the mid-range knockdown shooter, or they start destroying folk for 2 years. You see what I'm saying? He would have elevated right back up. What was he, 18-9, 18-10? He'd elevate it right back up. And that's a third scorer on a team with 2 superstars, 2 MVPs. So you see what I'm saying? The finals MVP and the regular MVP. We're talking about a world champ. So he had a lot of adjusting to do. I don't agree. If you ask me today, give me prime Chris Bosh or prime Blake Griffin, I'm taking Chris Bosh all day. I'm not taking Blake Griffin.
Zay, you also brought up efficiency. Come on, Blake Griffin was just dunking the ball. Of course he's going to be more efficient.
Oh yeah. But compared to even Amari Stoudemire, for instance, Chris Bosh was less efficient than him.
I value defense. And he played way better defense than Amari. Now, I know Amari could score, athletic, all that. Great to see. But I don't like seeing him getting blown by. I don't like getting him cooked all day, every day. I thought Bosh gave much better effort on defense. I'm not saying Bosh was elite defensively, but he was way better. Okay. He was way better. So that's why I like Bosh. I like both sides of the ball. I do. I like
there you
both.
go, Zay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got a fat waiting room, so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you coming up, Zay.
Yep, no problem.
Have a good rest of your Monday. I almost said it was Sunday. All right, brother. Got a super chat or a few super chats coming in. Richie Rich TV, how is Curry a shooting guard if Clay is a shooting guard? Come on, Elder.
Doesn't matter. They both shoot guards. Hey, what is Paul George and what is
Kawhi Leonard? Right.
Are they both wings? Now you may put Paul George at the 2 guard. You may list him as a shooting guard, but Kawhi could be the shooting guard. Just like Jordan and Kobe both can play 2 or 3. Come on, bro. Stop. We got to be a little better than that.
African sci-fi scholar. Bosh was second team All NBA at Toronto equals top 10 player in the league.
There you go, brother. See, I appreciate y'all that do your research, know this stuff. Cause see, y'all see me. I'm not finna pull up stats and do all that. I'm going off the dome. So those of y'all that know that people being here capping and making up stuff, go ahead and put those type of stats in there. I knew that about Bosh, that he was an All NBA player, but it's still irrelevant. You could put on there that Bosh was first team if he ever made it. It wouldn't matter to that brother. Bosh was a 14th, 15th best player. To me, that's still a perennial all-star. That's still a stacked team when you're getting all those guys in their prime. But I don't have a problem with stacked teams either, though.
Not loafing. You said Kobe over LBJ in win over accolades, but LBJ has 1 less ring and more significant accolades. That 1 ring doesn't make K over L. Kobe over LeBron. LBJ won 1 less and produced more.
1 less and produced more. Okay, that's your opinion. I'm cool with it.
LA Sports Live. Salute Elder. Congrats on your show. Go Lakers.
Salute, my brother.
Rolo 555. Is George Gervin a top 5 shooting guard all time?
Man, I love George Gervin, but he is not in my top 5 shooting guards because his situation didn't lead for him to win chips. And I say that this way. A lot of times guys get on teams, and back then because they were loyal, y'all, and the way the rules were set up, this going into a whole big thing. This is why I'm not against super teams. This is why I'm not against guys making their own teams. Because, see, remember I was telling you behind the scenes, JD, how I worked for a sports agent as a recruiter. And I got to see the things that a lot of these players went through with these super long contracts, stuck in these cities, couldn't move, couldn't have no flexibility or nothing like that. And I saw how these owners took advantage of a lot of these players, right? So I hated it. So once the players got the power, I'm good with it. Now, the thing I don't like the players abusing their power. Now, if you're a star, you have a responsibility to get out there and present this product. Playing 56 games out of 82 is not presenting this product. Load managing, all that, that's not presenting this product. I get it for a guy like Duncan. He was, 35 when they start load managing him? I get it. But go look at what Duncan did before all that. 80 games, 81 games, 82 games, 78 games. He played. Go back to the question. I forgot it now. I went off on my little tangent. I forgot what the statement. You can go back to it? Because I was getting me off to another thing.
Oh, yeah. He was asking if Gervin was a top 5 shooting guard all the time.
Gervin was one of those guys like a Dominique and all that. They stayed in their area, and they just never were able to put a good team around them. They didn't get the opportunity to go play with other All-Stars or other Hall of Famers. So that's why Gervin put up a bunch of points. But he always, if you go look at his playoff history, just like Dominique's playoff history, they always got beat by these super teams. So he's great, don't get me wrong, but I still value winning. So these other guys have been able to get in there and win somehow. So I have everybody ahead of him. I guarantee you they got multiple chips. A11
Gravy, what's your start bench cut? Bosh, K-Love, AD.
Oh, start, bench, cut. Oh, man, you took that way quick. Because I don't remember the name.
Bosh, K-Love, AD.
K-Love. Kevin Love?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm starting AD. Man. I'm benching Bosh, cutting K-Love.
There you go. All right, let's get up Uber Eats. Uber Eats. Bring it on up. What's good, bro?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Big respect to both of y'all. I got a lot of respect for Elder and Ticket, but I gotta say I disagree with a lot of stuff you say, but still all respect.
It's all
So
good.
what I'm starting off with is I'm not one of these guys that's loyal to players. You know, LeBron's not even my favorite player ever. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm always gonna be loyal to my Knicks. But here's my thing: our ownership and our front office has been horrible. Not now, but back then. So my thing is I understand that you say, you know, it's important to stick with your team and whatnot, but what I kind of want to present as an argument is where would you rank LeBron if he stayed with the Cavs? They only won like one ring. I mean, the only reason why I even rank him high is because, you know, he got 4 rings. So my thing is, like, if he never leaves the Cavs, he'll be lucky to win 1. And not only that, it's because the management was bad. They were scared to trade J.J. Hickson for Amari Stoudemire. So what are we supposed to do? And I understand you and Ticket say, like, he had help and whatnot, but let's be real, it was never enough. And we know that the ownership and the management wasn't going to do enough to get them a ring just to be good, because they thought, hey, LeBron's great. He could drag us to 50, 60 wins. So my argument is, like, I guess my 2 questions is, like, where would you rank LeBron if he stayed in Cleveland? Let's say he got lucky, won 1 ring. And when is it not enough? Like, when should a player be fed up and leave his team in free agency when the ownership's terrible, like the Knicks or the Cavs? Because not everybody has R.C. Buford, for example, or Bob Myers on their team.
Good question. Very good question. This kind of go into some life stuff real quick. But I'm going to disagree on a couple things. I don't compare Cleveland's ownership with the Knicks. The Knicks suck, no doubt, for decades. Cleveland tried. They're just shackled. See, they don't have the glimmer and the glam of New York and taking advantage of it by just making money and don't give a crap what the product is out there. You see what I'm saying? Cleveland actually tried. I mean, think about it. Out of all the NBA cities, if you had to list them where you want to live, Cleveland probably going to be in your bottom 3, if not the last. You see what I'm saying? So it's disadvantages. I'm one of these guys that don't bash LeBron now for putting the team together. I still call it what it is, because my teams, Magic Johnson, those are super teams, bro. And he played against super teams with Boston, super teams against Philly. Those are super teams. So I don't have a problem with it. So I'm not one of those guys that's upset about LeBron leaving. And then this is where the life thing comes in. I think every man should get away from his hometown for a while. That's where you do all your dirt. That's where everything go wrong, blah, blah, blah. I think you need to see more. So I was actually happy when LeBron left, because I'm like, he needs to get away from that. That's what he's been in. Go away. And then if you want to come back, come back. And he did. And he won. So I think, and this is another part I disagree, if he stayed, this is my opinion, I think he would have won more than 1 chip. I really do. I think he'd have won at least 2. To me, once you win 2, it puts you in a different category, because that's multiple. To me, the elite of the elite stars, they find out a way to win multiple chips. I believe LeBron James is good enough. He would have figured out a way to win 2 chips if he stayed in Cleveland and never left. That's what I believe. But I was also at the press conference when LeBron was 18 years old. Remember the one when he got up there, he told the whole world, I want to be the richest athlete ever. He didn't say basketball player. He said athlete. So I knew then, even back then, I said, this is way more than basketball for him. And then if you look at the moves that LeBron has made, it's way more than basketball. It's just a platform to get his name out there, but it's way deeper than basketball for LeBron. That's why he's in LA now. LA offers him things that Cleveland, other places can never offer him. That's why he's there now. Does he want to win chips? Absolutely. When he gets on that court, do I think LeBron wants to win? I do. But I think it's greater than that, and it's more than that for him. But that's the part, a small disagree. I believe he'd have won more than 1. I really do. Because I believe once you win, because I think he would have. He cracked it, 4 years in 2007, he cracked it. I think he would have cracked it again, probably would have won. And once you win, guys will come in. Guys will sacrifice them. But, you know, we don't know. That's speculation. We don't know. But I really think he'd have won more than 1. I do.
Good questions, bro. Thank you for coming up.
Appreciate you, Reed.
You guys. I hope I'll be back.
Yes, sir. Take it easy. Super chats. Assad Muhanad. I hope I did pronounce that incorrectly. I apologize if I butchered your name. Where would you rank AD as an all-time power forward?
Oh, man. Top 10. He's top 10 all-time power forwards to me.
Raw with the super chat. Bosh was second-team All-NBA in 2007. Never made another All-NBA. He was an all-star talent, but stop overrating him. Bro, I feel like you guys forget about Chris Bosh.
They have. It's fine. And
I
again,
loved Chris Bosh.
Person that said I would like to see how old he is. I would like to see how old that individual is. Because, again, when they look at the numbers, they just see that Toronto sucked. You know what I mean? But they were young. But Bosh was unstoppable, y'all. And everybody game planned against that dude. And they still couldn't stop this dude.
He was so
he had
nice.
range, he was agile. He was strong for his man. Bosh was the real deal. Why do you think LeBron done wanted him? Why do you think
Right.
I mean, if he wasn't great, why the hell do you think they wanted him?
Young Cactus Jack, how much do you think MJ averages in today's game?
40.
40's crazy.
I do. I really do. I think MJ average. We got guys that can. What's the highest guy now? Luka, or who's the number one now?
33, I think, is like the.
We got guys that have averaged 35 and all that. MJ's better than all these dudes. Well, who was it? Was it Beal? Didn't Beal average 35 here like a couple years ago or something like that?
Yeah, Luka is averaging 34, and yes, I think
He's
Beal averages like 35 or
He's
something.
a greater scorer than all those dudes. And then you can't hand check him. You can't get overly physical with him. You can't touch him. I mean, think about it. When they could beat him up back then, he still was scoring 30-plus points a game. Now you can't do any of that. He don't have to turn around backwards and back you down and do what he got to do. He could just come up on you full speed and you can't do nothing. Man, Jordan would destroy this. This would be unfair with Jordan. He would average at least 40. Easily.
Without a doubt, sports. What's good, bro?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good. Welcome. Thanks for joining.
What's up, man? I had a question for Elder about Chris Jackson and about how he doesn't get mentioned, about how do you think his game would have translated to now?
I tell a lot of people all the time, I've seen Steph Curry before, and that's who I be referring to.
Right.
I be referring to him, but a lot of folk don't know him, so that's why I talk about it a lot. His game would translate incredible to today's game. I mean,
I thought, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I thought even on the team with LSU with Shaq, you could have a debate that he was the best player on that team. He would have 50-point night after 50-point night.
He was the best player on that team. Shaq wasn't there. He was easily the best player. Ain't no debate. He was the man. Chris Jackson could go. Some of y'all have to look up Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf because he changed his name. He was Chris Jackson at LSU. He changed his name when he got to NBA. He's a Muslim to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. But they kind of blackballed him out the league. But he was he could score, bro, and he could shoot. And they would put it this way: he was one of the first guys I saw where there was just no bad shot. Whatever he shot, I thought, man, that boy got a chance to make it. So I like a guy like that. I like some. I've had some tell me that he's more Dame Dollar-ish, but I see Curry in him too. I see a lot of Curry in him too.
Right.
So he would do well. He would do well. He would be in that upper echelon guards if he had a team that let him do what he do and didn't care about him not standing for the flag and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We got him out of there. But if he just played, bro, I think in today's game, because his game fits today's game really well. A lot of these guards got a lot of Chris Jackson in them, in my opinion. Opinion.
That's just what I'd be saying when people be like telling me that, players from, y'all generation wouldn't translate. But you see Ralph Sampson, 7'4", bringing the ball up. You see Tim Hardaway, Penny Hardaway, all those players. So I just wanted to know, how do you think a lot of their games would have translated to now?
I think it's hard for a lot of people because of technology and advancements, and they look at how agile and quick and the way people move today, and then they look at the game back then and they see guys doing this. Hey, he don't have a left hand. Well, back then he didn't need a left hand. Nobody had one, I guess, and you couldn't steal the ball from the dude. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't matter. I see guys now who stop Zion from going left. I don't ever see Zion going right. I don't. Maybe y'all do. I don't. Right. But I don't see anybody stopping. Julius Randle. Who stops him from going left? Nobody. So I don't think the game has changed that much. It's just when they look and see how fast and more athletic they are, they think, well, they can take that person from 2022 and drop them back in 1989. Right. You can't do that. You have to go back and they'll have the same old hard, rough bottoms with no air in your shoes. And you know what I mean? You got to have the same stuff and the same things available. So these guys wouldn't be playing exactly the same way today. I mean, then that they would today. And you have to make the advancements for the guys. I mean, Jordan, give him all these advantages. Give him all this stuff. and let him come and play against these guys. Jordan, to me, though, just with these eyes, he clears all these dudes when it comes to scoring. The only guy that I would even really put on Jordan's level when it comes to scoring in the game today would be Kevin Durant. He's the only dude. He's the only dude. Everybody else, they're not close to Jordan. Now, they may score the points like that, but I'm talking about just pure scoring, versatility, back. Man, none of these guys can score like Jordan, man. Kevin Durant's the only one, in my opinion. He's the only one.
Yeah, without a doubt. Thank you for tapping in, bro.
No problem. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it. All right, let's get Emmanuel up here. Emmanuel, what's up, man?
Yo, what up, brother? Shout out to you, man. I have a question about the debate about Jokic being the greatest offensive center ever, and I would like low-key agree with it. What's your take on that?
That's a travesty.
You don't like it?
Wait, did you hear this? You know where this came from, right? This came from the panel. I think it was Mars.
I know where it came from.
All right.
It's a travesty. Mars gonna have a lot of stuff that he goes back and be like, man, you know what? I should just keep my mouth shut on certain things. You just don't know. You just don't know. You just don't know. Jokic is good. And I know he started by saying offensive. I get it. I understand what he started with. But they baited him. I think it was Dale baited him. And then had the boy admitting that he thought Jokic was better than Kobe Bryant. Come on, man. So that's one of those things that really don't even need to be discussed. If a person actually believes that, I want them to run with that in their mind. I really do. There's no way to, like, I got an invite, and somebody wanted me to debate Magic Johnson against Draymond Green. You know what I said? You know what I said? No, thank you.
Respectfully.
No, because in that whole debate, guess what I would have done? Guess what I'd have done?
What?
He'd have been on his diatribe about Draymond Green. Guess what I would have done? I'd have said, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff just don't need to be talked about. Just because someone think it and come up with it in their mind doesn't mean it needs to be discussed. Doesn't mean it needs to be discussed. So Jokic is great. He's one of the best players in this era so far. He's still young. He has a lot of career ahead of him. He's not in the category of the great yet. First and foremost, the boy ain't won nothing. He ain't won nothing. Win a chip, Jokic. Please. Win a chip. Then I can start talking about you like I do Giannis. Win a chip at least. Because you got a stacked team. You got a lot of talent over there. Keep them healthy. Win. But to compare him with I don't do that. You never hear me go find on these channels. The only time I'm talking it is when people ask the question. I never will bring up these dudes against old school guys. I just don't. I don't even compare the ears. It ain't worth it to me. But no, I disagree 100% with what Mars said and what he was baiting him and saying by day. Mars, get your shit together. I love you, bro. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, Manuel, thank you for tapping in, bro. Appreciate the question. Have a good one, man.
Man.
Cruiser, welcome to Ask Elder, bro. How are you doing?
Elder, man. What's up, big dog, man? Big shout out to you, man. Love the work you do, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
I got knocked off yesterday, man. I was in there with you and Ticket, man. I had a question, man. It was pertaining to KD, Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? As Kevin Durant career done went on, a lot of people act like after last year's series, I'm just gonna go back to every superstar outside of Michael Jordan done had a blunder in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
That was the worst we've ever seen Kevin Durant. No doubt about that. And when it comes to a team game, everybody act like KD was just so trash. Everybody know that team was in disarray. Even though Kyrie came back and had that one bad game, that one good game, he was doing the little what's the stuff? What your boy Hakeem Olajuwon used to do? Ramadan.
Okay. Yeah.
He had no energy. He wasn't the same guy after that. And then the year before that, we ain't give. And then everybody like, well, Steph went and did it before. People forget. Kevin Durant did take his team to the finals. He did do that. I know he lost to Steph Curry, and they came back from 3-1. But Elder, like you know, I just heard you a few minutes ago. You said that you like the Lakers, but they missing one more piece. They Western Conference, what's the name? Now we agree that KD then was up 3-1, but once Golden State figured them out and they just loaded up, they was leaving jokers wide open. They ain't have no shooters. KD had to force up shots. They couldn't hit shots. That's why they lost a 3-1 lead. When have you ever seen outside of last year where KD just shit the bed?
It ain't there. You're right about him. Hold on, to answer your question, it's not there. My thing with KD, of course, is what a lot of people's is. I'm big on leadership. I'm big on guys leading by example. The move he made That's what took him down a notch for me. Hopefully he's still there. That's what took KD down a notch for me, because the era I'm from, that'll never happen. You never would have saw a guy get conquered by a team and then the exact next year go join that team. That's just a no-no. I don't respect that leadership-wise. KD's game is incredible. He's one of the best. Next to LeBron, he's right. Him and LeBron, Steph, KD. That's how I have him in this era. I really do. So he's incredible. But there's things KD needs to do. And this is what I'm saying. You brought up about adversity. Yeah, he lost there. He had a bad year last year. I need to see KD lead a team after adversity to a chip to elevate him. He does that, I'm going to elevate him on my list. But if he doesn't, he's like a lot of other guys. Because what he did do, he joined a ready-made championship team, and he did what he does. He scores. He scores. He did what he does, but the leaders of that team were already in place. And then when they left, that showed you. They didn't have to really have him, because when he left, they brought in Wiggins, and he scored. Hold on, I'm sorry. All right, yeah, get that. I want that bottom. No,
phone is crazy.
But he scored. You see what I'm saying? So, again, I got ultimate respect for KD's game. I think he's a sniper. I think he's the best scorer in the game, pure scorer, right? I think he's top 3 in this era, because I got to put Steph above him, because Steph has just done so much more and led the team in doing it. So has LeBron. Even though LeBron got a lot of losses, he still led to 4 championships. So if KD can overcome last, like, see what they're doing now. Now, I hate the news. Last night, y'all heard, they said they're not evaluating for 2 weeks. Y'all remember what happened last year. KD, they were number 1 in the East. Yeah. KD got hurt. Them boogers dropped to 8th. And they were never the same. I hope that don't happen this year. I hope Jock can keep them tighter and sustain till KD come back. I don't want to see them fall off, because they still got enough talent. With Kyrie and the other guys that got over there, they still got enough talent to win games in the NBA right now, even without KD.
Hey, one more thing, Elder.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I heard everybody say, because people forget, though. I heard everybody always say, well, they plugged in Andrew Wiggins. No, Andrew Wiggins didn't play against LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Love, though. That's a different time. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't just like they plugged KD in to beat LeBron. Outside of that last one when they swept LeBron, if you look at it, Elder, from top to bottom, when KD came that first year, when Kyrie was healthy, Kevin Love was healthy, and LeBron was healthy, that was an evenly matched series. LeBron could match KD. Go back, Elder. I know you remember this. Your history. Mm-hmm. Know why everybody got mad that he went to Golden State. It wasn't that he went to Golden State. They was trying to get him to go with LeBron. They were trying to remember, they was like, man, KD should team up with LeBron. So if KD would have went with LeBron and they beat the Warriors, nobody would have had a problem. Everybody hate KD because he stopped LeBron from winning chips. That's the only reason. You can go back and look it up. They was, even this last time when KD left Golden State, when LeBron was going to Lakers, what they were saying, Elder, let's get KD with the Lakers. As long as LeBron can win championships, that's why everybody hate KD. It had nothing to do outside of that last year, that first year in Golden State. They matched up perfectly. KD versus LeBron, Steph versus Kyrie, Kevin Love versus Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green versus what's your boy name? Draymond Green versus Tristan Thompson. That was a good matchup. KD was the difference maker. They weren't gonna beat LeBron.
I get your point. I get where you're coming from. I don't think everybody would agree with that. I'm for one. I don't hate KD first and foremost. I don't like his leadership skills. That's what I knock about KD. He's not.
One more thing. All right.
He's not the leader that he needs to be. If you're a true leader, in my opinion, there's no way I'm leaving OKC and leaving Russ there. See, I question. I know you say he led them to a championship and they lost. I don't know who. Hold on. I don't know who the leader of that team was. I don't know if it was him or Russell Westbrook. I really don't. Because when I look at it, they love Russ just as much. And when it came down to it, KD was the one left instead of Russ leaving. You're a true leader. You telling them, man, get this dude out of here. I can't win with him. And they do it. So my biggest knock with Kevin Durant is his leadership skills. This is a very good opportunity for him to show that he has leadership skills. They went through an adversity last year, got swept. He can come back and do it now. I'm not a believer of that they mad because it stopped LeBron from winning championships. I ain't got nothing in me about that. That never crossed my mind when it came to it with KD going there. It's just the weakest, softest, milquetoast, simp move I've ever seen in sports. And that's what brings him down for me. I didn't think nothing about the LeBron situation. Now, again, you can't knock Golden State for one-upping LeBron and things that he did, because he went and brought. You think about how was the league when Bron went to did the little thing, went to Miami? Oh, they were hot.
Yes, sir.
These dudes together, blah, blah, blah. So I can't get mad at Golden State when they one up LeBron and things that he's done. Find out a way to beat these dudes. That's what you do.
Last thing, Elder, too. I don't want to hold y'all. Last thing, Elder. When Elder, you've been around, you say you was a sports agent, like inside that, Elder?
Yeah.
We all know that everybody leadership, I done played team sports. Everybody leadership different. Look at Tim Duncan. We can't just say KD not a leader because he not a rah-rah guy, but everybody know KD gonna lead by example. He a gym rat. He gonna show up when he can. If he not hurt, KD gonna leave it on the line. That series versus Milwaukee, when he was out there by himself, he played every minute those last 3 games and dropping 47 almost. Remember that he said he blanked out one time. Like, so I can't say he's not a leader. His team just didn't get it done, but he leads by example. He's a hard-working guy.
Proving that. What do you do when that's not enough to win, though?
I do agree.
Being a gym rat, being a gym rat, leading by example on that court and all that. What happens when it takes more? See, when you're a real true leader, you understand most of the time it's going to take more. At the end of the day, it's your job as a leader to galvanize your troops, to get them to come together, to figure out how to get the goal accomplished. And the only factor is getting the goal accomplished. So if I'm out there being a gym rat and I'm balling out, putting up 50 a game, 20 this, that, but we ain't winning, I'm not leading properly. I got to get it done. See, like, I'm a leader here in my community. We got to get it done. When it's time to build, we got to get it done. When it's time to harvest, we got to get it done. It doesn't matter how I get it done. At the end of the day, I got to bring everybody together, make sure we get this job done. And if we don't get it done, the leader's going to be the one to get criticized. That's why Kevin Durant is criticized. I don't like his weak move for leaving OKC, a team that drafted him. It should have been his team, to a lesser player. Russell Westbrook's a lesser player. He should be gone, not you. Then I don't like you going to the team that subdued you, bro. You were up 3-1. You had them. They came back and beat you, and then you joined them the next year? That's weak sauce to me. I can't respect that. Now, can he get respect back? Yeah. You went over and formed a team in Jersey. You follow Kyrie, whatever the case may be. Get it done now. Get it done now, and I have respect. Get it done.
Hey, one last thing.
Old dudes did. That's what all the old dudes did. They overcame the adversity and still won chips after that. I need him to do the same.
Cruising that. How many one last things do you have?
You got a lot of them.
Hey, sorry, Rufus. Sorry. This is the last one, bro. Last one.
Right.
Listen, that's one thing. I like KD, but that's one thing that I hate about him. He's not assertive enough. Sometimes when he need to take over, he don't assert himself enough. That's the last thing, though, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Elvis, man.
Salute, my brother. Appreciate
you. All right, let's get the super chats. Tony07, do you think Dwight Howard should be in the top 75?
Absolutely, without question. He should be top 75 easily.
African sci-fi.
I wouldn't take AD out to put him in there either.
African Sci-Fi Scholar is trying to sponsor the Ask Elder show. This is like his 4th or 5th super chat. I don't blame players for controlling their destinies and teaming up to an extent. My issue is it can skew comparisons, competition, hold it against players that didn't get that opportunity.
Well, think about it. We talked about that earlier. Those guys had super teams that were put together by the owners, right? The Magic, the Lakers, the 76ers, the Celtics, the Detroit Pistons, all these teams like that, right? Well, guys like George Gervin, guys like Dominique Wilkins. It happens, bro. Figure it out. That's why I say figure it out. You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. And if you don't think and have confidence in your front office, leave. Now, back then, it was much harder. 7, 10-year, all these crazy contracts. It was much, much harder. Today, these guys don't have no excuse. Everybody's winning. And that's another thing. Jordan, nobody won. Nobody won. Nobody beat Jordan during that era. You got him and Akeem. Only 2 that won, right? This era, everybody wins. Kawhi wins. KD wins. Curry wins. LeBron wins. Giannis wins. Everybody wins. So figure it out. Go figure it out. That's my take on it.
We have a couple more super chats, and then we have about 5-ish more minutes, so I want to try and get at least one more person up on here to talk, and then we'll close out with that. So if we didn't get to you today, hey, make sure you tap in every Monday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to try and get to you guys next time. I apologize. We were on a little bit of time constraints today, so hopefully next week.
The Slick 93. I'm not dissing Gervin, bro. You got to listen to me close. I said his circumstance, just like Dominique's, his circumstance didn't allow him to win chips. He always got beat by super teams. I know that. He still was great, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead, JD.
No, you're chilling. Just wanted to apologize for being on time constraints, and there's so many people just waiting in the lobby. I wish we could get to y'all. We appreciate the support, man. This is dope. First Ask Elder show, and there's almost 700 of y'all in here. Math ain't mathing, though. There's only 287 likes. I don't know why people aren't paying the entry.
Hey, hit the like button. What's wrong, man?
What's wrong with y'all?
Just hit the like button.
Crazy. Nate Reynolds, bronze 4 MVPs don't mean anything. Only MJ has more.
That's not true. What is he talking about? Oh, in the finals? He talking about finals MVPs? He got to be talking about finals. He's talking about finals MVPs. Okay.
I don't know if Christopher D was just sending the super chat to make sure he got J&J Productions attention, or if this was for us, but we will not be here at 2:30 Eastern. I have something to discuss with that Hall of Fame argument. I'll hop around 2:30 Eastern. J&J at J&J Productions. Maybe that was for you at J&J Productions.
That'd be next show. We won't be here at that time, bro.
Riley McKenna, how well do you guys think a player like Pistol Pete would do in this era? I feel like his game would translate really well.
It would. He'd be extremely exciting. He sure would. He'd be very excited in this era. Mm-hmm. Hot facts. Robert Weiss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big salute. Been watching the show now for about a good month and some change, and I love what you guys do. I love your opinions and how you come with it, because I'm just like that. And my dad played with Dennis Johnson. So, Tarkanian recruited my dad at Cal State Long Beach. I grew up playing ball with Tyson Chandler and all these dudes. So when I watch the game, it's a little different. Now, I want to get into this with you because I feel like you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. The unsung heroes. Now, we talked about, you talked about the teams that they were super teams by the owners. The Lakers got Worthy in the draft. It was like that. You built the teams like that. But they had unsung heroes on that team that right now could be making a lot of money, get these max contracts. Michael Cooper won 5 rings. Yep. All defensive player just about every year. You get guys like a Derek Fisher. He won 5 rings with Kobe. Always defensive. That he's the president of the Players Association, things like that. You get Dennis Johnson. You get guys like that, and you see how the NBA is today. When we look at guys like saying, how is this guy making all that money? How much would those unsung heroes make? I put Draymond Green in that category too in today's game. One of those dudes wins the rings and does the job. How much money do you think like a Michael Cooper or the guys like that from back then will be making in today's basketball? Because they were all defensive team first teams.
Yeah. I think those guys, brother, very good point you're making here, and I'm going to go this route with it. I'm not going to say 25 like Draymond. Draymond is clearly the leader of the team, too, in a certain aspect. You have your unsung heroes, but they're still classified as role players. Draymond's the, role player on crack or whatever. He's the exalted role player because he does lead in a certain way. That's why they paid him a little bit more. So if he's making 25, I think those guys will probably be in that 15, 18, depending. They'd be in that 15 to 18 category, what they'd be making today. But, yeah, those guys were extremely valuable. And, hey, people talk about how, Kobe only won with Shaq and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, really, he only won with a pair of Derek Fisher. All his 5 came with Fish. You know what I mean? Like Jordan 6 came with Pippen. He had Fish every time. And Fish was critical to do because he took them assignments. Kobe would guard whoever. 1 through 3, Kobe would take them. But, boy, Derek Fisher did a lot for him. So, yeah, I agree with you saying. I think in today's game where the way the money is, on the low end, 12, on the high end, 18, maybe one guy sneaking 20. I don't think those guys would have been at 25 because I don't see any of those guys being the leader of the team like Draymond is. So that's what puts him a little bit over them financially, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Okay, and then let me just get one more thing. I ain't gonna do 8, 9, and 10. I'm this gonna be my last one more thing. My last one more thing right here. My thing is with Dennis Rodman, okay? People don't understand. They say, well, he's too small and things like this, but they don't understand he was the only player riding the bike while he's on the bench before he goes back in. So he was never going to stop. And they say, well, he wouldn't have been good in today's realm. I feel like Rodman would average like 20-plus rebounds every game just because he was so smart and knowing where the ball was going to be after the defense he played on somebody, he would be able to get you at the top, figure out where it's going to be, get the rebound, and do that outlet pass. How many boards do you think Rodman would average in today's NBA?
Honestly, I think he probably would average about what he averaged then, just because the game is so different and because he can't shoot like that. Now, Rodman did shoot some threes in the end. He would have had to develop the three and use it to be out there, because the way today's game is, you always had those guys that you never even cared about scoring. They did all the other stuff. Today's NBA ain't that way. So I think with the way it is, unless he developed that three. Now, if he developed a three ball and became a stretch four, Rodman would have definitely averaged 20 boards. Because he would – I'm going to tell you right now a story about Rodman, because, see, I worked at the Palace when he was there, right? When I was in college, I used to work at the Palace. I had passes. I used to get a chance to go to practice sometimes. I've never seen a faster guy on the court, bro. Rodman was a darn gazelle, bro. He looked like a cheetah. Bro, I see guys like you ever see how fast John Wall is up close, you be like, whoa. He took 3 steps and got 94 feet. That's how it seems. Rodman was the same way, bro. I remember watching him in practice, and something would take place. And he just made up so much space. He's so fast, bro. And he was so athletic. He was so smart. He was so strong. Even though he had that wiry frame, Rodman was strong, bro. So I think he would, if he didn't develop the three, he would get about 14, 16 boards. He developed that three, could play more minutes. Rodman probably would have got 20. He'd have definitely led the NBA in rebounds without question, still, by far. He would have been the best rebounder in the game then, in my opinion.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much. Check me out. Check me out on Hot Facts. Just hit 10,000 subs yesterday. I'm at 10,211 months right now, so my channel's doing good. Big salute.
Yes,
I'm gonna be chiming in because I love y'all talks.
Yes, sir.
Love y'all.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming up, brother. You too. All right, let's end the show on this last super chat. Elder, pick one to start your franchise: Shea, D. Fox, or D. Garland.
Man, I love all those guys, but I'm gonna pick Shea because he's bigger. I love D. Garland. It will probably be Shea, D. Garland, and Fox, but Shea. He's bigger, and you can't stop him. Shea, everybody knows all he does is get to the rim. Nobody in this league has figured out how to stop him from getting to the rim.
I think I would agree.
I'll go Shea.
I think I would agree as well. All right, everyone, thank you guys for tapping into the first episode of Ask Elder. I didn't want to bring this up at the beginning of today's show because or I didn't want to implement this at the beginning of today's show because I wanted to introduce this so that you guys understood. Moving forward, we have a private Discord channel for all All-Star YouTube, Players' Choice YouTube members. What I will do moving forward is before I throw the link into the YouTube chat, I will be putting that in the private channel first so that the people who are All-Star members have access to that first if you guys want priority access. And then, I'll make that available eventually to everyone who's tapped in. But want to make sure that anyone who's supporting the channel, you guys have that access to get that priority queue. That goes for Open Gym as well. So shout out to y'all. Elder, do you have anything that you want to close out on?
Appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody showing up. Keep supporting the Players' Choice. I love everything they're doing over here. It is literally that. You got a choice of whatever you want to do over here. And I like the formats. I like the way they go about it. You literally can find everything you want in sports over here. So keep supporting. Keep hitting the like button, man. We shouldn't have to beg y'all to do that. Hit the like button. You hear? It doesn't cost you nothing. Hit the like button. That shows the support, and that spins this thing the way we needed to get spent. So hit the like button and support. Thank you to everybody that sent the super chats. Thank you, everybody, for the questions. It's going to get intense, I can tell, because some of y'all want the smoke. I can see it in the chat room. I ain't ducking no smoke. Y'all know that with Elder. So as we get going, we'll get to some smoke too. But I thought this was a good first show. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the support. Nothing but love. And if you have like the last brother, the hot whatever, I'm going to look him up. But if you got something you want promoted, send it in the thing and all that. We want to support everybody. We want to support all y'all. So if y'all got channels, you out there getting it done, we'll come support you. All right? Hey, Lick It LBA. So I ain't ducking you. Boy, you better be glad we're on time constraint. You get in here now. Everybody remember that. Lick It LV is his name. Next time the show on, I'm looking for you, boy. I'm looking for you. Since you say I'm ducking you, you're going to be first up on the show. I don't duck no smoke.
W show. Love it, Elder. Thank you for allowing me to do this show with you, man. I'm looking forward to every Monday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, y'all. We'll catch you next week. Peace